here. Slight move. So let's try to see what is the idea. Two moves comes to my mind. First is just to move king here with threat of g4 checkmate. But what if that is the first move? So if I go with my king here, black could just go here, rook e3, and because of the rook I cannot push the pawn. So what is the idea then? So maybe king h3, rook e3, rook g4 with a threat rook h4 checkmate. So king h3, rook e3, rook g4, king h6. It looks to me as a very good variation, because king h3, rook e3, rook g4, king h6, rook h4, king g7, rook c4, and c7 pawn hangs. So let's try. No, it's not a move. Let's see what's the solution. King f3. Okay, I didn't see that is coming, but let's just see what is happening in the case of king h3, rook e3. It is even possible to go rook takes f6, but I wanted to play this. Okay, I forgot that a black king can just go to g5 square. So I just think about this variation. So after rook a3, rook g4, I thought that black needs to go here, and then that even king h4 is better. I thought about this, king h4, rook h4, king g7, rook c4. But it's really, I didn't see a lot of things here, so pretty bad for me. Just to see next puzzle. Knight takes f7. Okay. Here immediately black can go to queen e4 check, and rook is hanging. Is there something better? I don't know, I will try. So maybe here I can go once more to give a check, and then this rook is also hanging. Yeah, that's the solution. So very easy team, double attack, and you can see that this is puzzle with which is not so hard. You can see it by the rating of it. So bishop takes f4. Now you can see that I can take the rook here. Rook takes e1 check. King could go on h2, or just play white could just play bishop f1. The main problem is just if I go rook takes e1, bishop f1, white can go queen d8 check, and after I retreat my rook, white can just play bishop d6 check, and I need to give my queen for the bishop. After rook takes e1 check, bishop f1, I need to continue somehow with attack if that is solution. So after rook takes e1, bishop f1, maybe I can just take a bishop with rook, and after king takes f1, I can go with queen d3. It's impossible for white to come to the square e1 because of queen e2 checkmate. So white needs to go on g1, and after this I could go queen d1 check, king h2, queen h1 checkmate. I think this is solution. So I take, just go here, here, and checkmate. d6. What to do here? I'm much worse player when queens are out of the game, so somehow for me it's much easier to find some combination if I don't exchange my queens. So what to do here? This pawn on d6 is a dangerous pawn. It's best pawn that can be promoted to queen in next two moves. So I need to find some way to stop this. And also white's knight defending square d7 and support white's passer. Let's say if I just take rook d7, and what I can do, I can give check here, and the white can go on many different squares, and I don't see how I can take this pawn. And the main problem is if I take here after d7, I cannot go to knight e6 because white's knight can just take my knight. Hate this problem. Rook. Check. I don't know. I suppose that somehow solution is to take a rook, but I don't see a continuation. So f takes g5, d7. So I can give check with both knight and a rook. So let's just put a move, some move, knight d5 check. So if white goes to c4, I can give very nice check, knight b6, and just take a pawn. So what I'm talking about, so if I take a rook, d7, knight e4, king c4, my knight goes to b6 with a check and just takes a pawn here. Okay, maybe this is the idea. Okay, if I take this rook, d7, knight e4, what white can do? White can just go to b3. And how I can continue with these checks? Okay, I can just give check here, and white can go, if white goes back, then I can go knight b4, knight c6, and pawn is stopped. So after f takes g5, d7, knight d5 check, king b3, rook h3 check. Let's see, king a4 is the same. I can give check with b6. Okay, so it's not so hard, but you need to calculate precisely. Of course, I have a help because I know that this is a problem, and in the real game I will not be sure that I can win or draw or something. So it's more difficult in the real game. And this is, I think, the last problem for today. So, first move that comes to my mind is to take with the queen on b6. And if white takes, just to play d2. But this is really, I think, stupid, because white can just go with the queen to d4. So, what to do here? I can take f2 with the rook. Which rook? For instance, rook at c2, because then I'm threatening mate on f1. So rook from c takes f2. Then I think it's a solution. I don't want to calculate. Oh, it's not. Okay, I didn't solve puzzles very good today. Let's see solution. Let's see how bad is my move. So I wanted to play this oh, it's pretty terrible because I just didn't see that white can just take this rook. Okay, I didn't solve puzzles very good today, but I think I learned at least something, that I need to be more patient.